dangerous or life-threatening situation exists on campus.
Tonight on Eyewitness News at 6, we continue to follow the investigation underway at Florida State University in the wake of a deadly mass shooting.
Needless to say, we have multiple crime scenes. This is a very large area we're covering. We have hundreds or thousands of witnesses.
In this hour, with that breaking news from Florida State University, we now know 2 people are dead. They are not students. 6 are injured, and police say the shooter is the son of a Leon County deputy and used his mother's personal weapon to commit this heinous crime. We have team coverage from Tallahassee as we gather the latest information from the ground. Good evening. I'm Martha Sigalski.
And I'm Darlene Jones. Certainly a difficult day for our local community. So many with children there in Tallahassee. Here's what we know right now about the shooting. Florida State Police identified the shooter as 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, the son, again, of a Leon County Sheriff's deputy. Tallahassee police say they found a weapon at the scene that was his mother's former service weapon, and a shotgun was also found at the scene there on campus, though it's unclear if it was used in the shooting. Eichner was shot, but is still alive at this hour in a hospital there in the Tallahassee area. Police say, though, he is refusing to speak with them.
That's right. He has non-life-threatening injuries. This all unfolding at the Student Union, the heart of FSU. It's a central gathering place for students. The Student Union, again, in the middle of this sprawling large campus where more than 44,000 students are enrolled and 16,000 employees. And you have to keep in mind, the shooting started there near the Student Union at 11:50, just around lunchtime, where many people would have been gathered to eat or meet up or go to work at the Student Union.
Yeah, Martha,
this is an insane situation. Like, what are the odds that a county sheriff's deputy's son would shoot up a school like this? Like, this is one of the craziest twists that I've ever seen in real life. I never would have imagined that something like this would happen, you know? I really don't know what to say about the son having access to his mother's service weapon. Like, that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me as to why it was so easy for this 20-year-old kid to get a hold of his mom's service weapon and a shotgun. I think it was a pistol and a shotgun. Like, how was it so easy for him to get those? You know, like, I think that if you are a parent, especially if you have firearms around the house, they should be secured in the most secret place imaginable in your household. You know, there should be absolutely no way that your kids could get a hold of, the service weapon that you have, in your possession. This kid must absolutely hate his freaking parents. He must hate his mom so freaking bad to the point where he's like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to take my mom's freaking gun and shoot down a whole bunch of people at this university. I hope that this kid faces the death penalty and something as close to it happens to him, because he definitely freaking deserves it.
Indescribable, really. I mean, you really just see the panic in people's faces, and everybody's sort of running away, not really understanding what's going on. As far as I understood, a lot of people were saying they thought it was construction at first. It's very hard to decipher unless you've heard a gunshot. You don't really know what's going on.
All right, some interesting facts about this kid right here, Aiden Gershbein. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. Apparently, this is his second mass shooting. Now, this is super unfortunate. Of course, the entire situation is just absolutely terrible. But this kid here had to pretty much relive, an event that he'd already lived through. Like, imagine living through one mass shooting and then having to deal with another one. Like, this is just a fucked up situation in every sense. Of course, right now with this going down, there's going to be a lot of talks on having, new legislation being passed, especially surrounded around the Second Amendment. And even Trump had, some words to say about what happened today at FSU. Let's go ahead and listen to what Trump had to say about this one.
There are now 2 deceased following that shooting at Florida State University. Following and amid that, is there any changes that you want to see to gun legislation? Anything you see broken with gun laws in our country?
I'm going to have to look. I'm a big advocate of the Second Amendment. I have been from the beginning. I protected it, and these things are terrible. But the gun doesn't do the shooting. The people do. It's a phrase that's used probably too often. I will tell you that it's a shame. I'm just hearing about it now. I just hear about it. I know the area very well. I know the school very well. I know everything about it. It's Florida. and we'll have more to say about it later after
What do
see
you
what
mean when you
happens.
say there will be more to say about it?
Only in terms of what happened. As far as legislation is concerned, this has been going on for a long time. I have an obligation to protect the Second Amendment. I ran on the Second Amendment, among many other things, and I will always protect the Second Amendment.
Banning guns isn't going to do anything. It really isn't going to do anything. I think that it is 100% a culture problem. It's a culture problem, without a doubt. When people decide to do evil things, they do evil things. For example, in the UK, guns are illegal, yet people are getting stabbed. They're getting their freaking arms chopped off, their heads being macheted off. You know, people find a way to get the same outcome with different tools. You know, when people decide that they want to do something to someone else, they figure out how to do it, whether it's with guns, with knives, or with any other freaking type of tool. It doesn't freaking matter. It's, you know, it's a decision that they make. It's a culture problem. I 100% believe that if we abolish the Second Amendment, you know, nothing's going to happen. Evil things will continue to happen. You know, this guy here actually blamed the Florida gun laws on why this shooting happened. Let's go ahead and listen to what this guy had to say.
The school shootings in Florida have been known for some time. There was a school shooting in 2018 in Parkland, Florida. There, the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, not a school, but a mass shooting in 2020. These incidents continue to recur in Florida, and we know from our CBS News reporting just down the street in Tallahassee this week, the state legislature was considering legislation to pull back some gun control measures in Florida, including measures to keep guns out of the hands of people under 21.
Yeah, I don't think that testing the commitment of anybody who's already made the decision to want to hurt somebody is the smartest way to go about it, in my honest opinion. If we look at Chicago, for example, where they have some of the strictest laws in the entire country, people are still finding a way to get illegal guns, and they mow people down each and every single weekend. So yeah, having stricter gun laws in Florida, in my opinion, isn't going to change anything. I mean, I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong, man, because I really do feel like if people were more willing to protect themselves, we would just see a lot less of this. Because when people go and do these mass shootings, they don't go into like a place where, let's say, for example, there's a police station. They don't do a mass shooting, you know, in places where they know that they could be dealt with like that. They do it in campuses. They do it at the mall. They do it in places where people are just, you know, going about their day, you know, not ever expecting for someone to pull out the blick and try to mow motherfuckers down. You know, I feel like if people, for the most part, you know, were more able to have the ability to protect themselves, I really do think that we would see a lot less of this.